The AI companies often are not very subtle about the ways in which they are responding to each other's choices and going faster as a consequence. In January, I tweeted about being worried about this race that the world is on to AGI and how it's leading to companies cutting corners. And it happened to be that same day, DeepSeek's new model R1 became notable. This is a prominent Chinese lab. It was considered to be maybe the first great rival model to OpenAI's O1, which had come out a few months earlier. And Sam Altman tweeted that same day that it was, I think the quote was, legit invigorating to have a new competitor, and that OpenAI was going to pull up some launches in response. And so, even though some of these companies, they have these charters where they've defined how they pursue their mission, they warn about competitive races leading to safety being undermined. When rubber hits the road, it's hard not to let your competitive incentives weigh in and cause you to do things you wouldn't otherwise do.
And how does that feel from the inside? Did you experience any of this pressure working at OpenAI?
It feels pretty scary. I think the O1 buildup was really a pivot moment for me, where before that point, it was kind of unclear how compute heavy systems would need to be really, really capable. And I think along with other people on the AGI readiness team, we kind of imagined that maybe you would in fact need to have such a large supercomputer that there would only be a handful of companies who could reasonably build one of these systems. And it would be relatively easier to coordinate, not to cut corners. There's still all sorts of challenges here. Antitrust is notoriously difficult and finicky in the United States. There are just lots of different groups who have jurisdiction to bring claims. You need to be careful there. But it seemed like maybe there were ways to jointly invest in safety research and make sure that we are in a better place when this technology gets developed. And then around the time of O1, it felt like a much bigger step with relatively less compute than people might have expected. And I remember my point of view going from maybe it's plausible to have only a few companies doing this to, oh man, within 18 months of someone really cracking AGI, superintelligence, unclear what exactly that milestone is, but cracking something, within 18 months, it feels like you might have many, many more entrants to the party than you might have otherwise hoped or expected if you were trying to kind of like hold back the flood.